What's up, everybody? DF here on a somber video, but it's a preview. We got to be here every week. I'm sorry it didn't happen on Monday like it has been. I thought I knew what was going to happen in those previous games, so I came right out with it. It's taken me a long time. I still do not know who's going to win this game. After talking with you, maybe something will come to mind where I could pick one of these two teams. But Michigan is 4-2. After losing to Oklahoma on the road and USC, getting blown out by USC on the road, versus Washington, who is 5-1 after losing only to Ohio State this season. Remember that Washington beat Michigan last year at their place. This time, it is in Ann Arbor on Big Noon on Fox. There's something funny about this game. Jedd Fisch is the head coach of Washington, and he is safe from being fired from there. Of course, former offensive coordinator at Michigan that made Harbaugh look good. Harbaugh wanted multiple OCs. Heads were butted. He went somewhere, and then he wound up at Arizona, and now, after doing good at Arizona, he's got Washington at 5-1 in his second season there, I believe. So, same as Sherrone Moore. But he's already hated by many after a year and a half as head coach. Many more will call for Sherrone Moore's head if he loses this game. I am not one of those people yet. Yet is the key word there, because it could be just like last season. We go downhill and maybe we don't beat Ohio State at the end this year to get momentum for next season. We can't just keep doing this. So yeah. I'm not one of those people yet. And those who do want him gone already had Michigan going 8-4 or 9-3 in the preseason anyway. Can they not remember that Oklahoma, USC, and Ohio State were to be losses at the beginning of this season? A lot of people had that. I didn't. I was more optimistic. I thought USC was going to win in the preseason, and we were going to beat everybody else. That's what I thought, that we're going to go on the road to Oklahoma. I had high hopes on Bryce Underwood. Now, I changed picking USC winning that game this past week to Michigan winning, and I was wrong. I should have stuck with my preconceived notion. But Bryce is better than any quarterback we maybe have ever had already. Passer, that is. A better passer. He's going to be a better quarterback going forward. We all know that if he stays. If Sherrone doesn't get canned and then everyone leaves and then he leaves and then, ooh. This is a huge, huge game. I'm not putting all this pressure on Michigan, but a lot of people are. So, Bryce being better fooled me into thinking that the offensive line and play calling was better as well than it was last year and what it actually is this season. Then there's the defense. Michigan's defense, which could and should be great. But with Dr. Blitz 2.0, nobody's going to be able to tackle those great USC weapons one-on-one with no safety valve. It's just not going to happen. You can't pressure a quarterback and an offensive coordinator that gets rid of the ball in 2 or 3 seconds. Everyone Michigan has played, every quarterback that Michigan has played has used this tactic. Just get rid of the ball quick before their defensive line gets to you. They're blitzing. There's going to be an opening somewhere on the field. And that's what's happening. The only thing that could produce pressure and help our defensive line get home is coverage. It's an amazing thing. Coverage. Just sit back there in a zone or man, maybe hybrid. Let the front four eat at that point, because if everything's cut off, yes, it will. A quarterback can eventually find an open guy with no pressure, but if everything is covered and it buys that extra 2 or 3 seconds, then pressure can get home. So Dr. Blitz is a big problem now. Dr. Blitz 2.0. Michigan can get back to the basics here and basic defense, keep everything in front, let the front four do work, let the offense ground and pound and play action off of that. They could do that, and they could win this game. But will they do that? We don't know. I don't know. Sherrone Moore's buyout is only $4 million, but then what? Everyone wants Curt Cignetti, but I think he has job security at Indiana. He loves it there, and he's got big money already. He's going to get a raise after this season yet again if the season continues on the trajectory it has been for him. Besides that, what if Biff Poggi, the interim head coach for the 2 games that Sherrone Moore was suspended, if Sherrone Moore's fired, he's probably the interim head coach. And we saw what he did. 2-0. Yes, Central Michigan, but he went on the road and beat Nebraska, who is now ranked. What if he wins out? Then you're going to have a ton of people that want him as head coach without even going through a search. So I prefer to wait until the end of the season, regardless of the outcome of this game and future games for Sherrone Moore. We've seen Penn State, who else has already fired their coach? A lot of them already mid-season. 3 weeks in, we had people getting fired. They want to get a head start on the coaching carousel. One man is going to make a lot of money because of all these coaches or these programs wanting a good coach. Maybe some other coaches, maybe they realize that they're not going to get the job that he wants and they take the second best offer and they're still highly paid. This is going to create a lot of money for head coaches here, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't, because Michigan's going to go all out, you would think, if this were to happen. So I prefer just to wait to the end of the season, but then, another thing is recruiting and keeping your team. You want your interim head coach to do really good and then take the job and keep going, but it's Biff Poggi. No experience whatsoever in any of this, except for he's a rich guy that loves football and he loves Michigan. Let's get to the game, though. This is just a funny game, a huge game that Michigan has to win. Will they? Washington's offense is scoring 39 points per game, 280 passing yards per game, 189 rushing yards per game as well, while Michigan's defense is now allowing 19 points per game, 216 passing yards per game, and 102 rushing yards per game. DeMond Williams Jr. is the quarterback for Washington, 117 of 158. That's 74%, people. He had 1,628 yards so far this season, 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. He's also a runner. 74 rushes for 382 yards, a 5.2 average per rush, and he has 4 rushing touchdowns. He's been sacked 16 times. So, is he a guy that can get the ball out real quick and not get sacked, or is he one that likes to hang on to the ball, scramble around and get sacked? A little bit of both seems like to me. That favors Michigan. He's not a Lane or a Maeva or a Raiola or a Mateer that is just gonna get the ball out real quick and beat you that way. We'll get 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards that way. And then the big one. I don't think he's I mean, his stats say he's that kind of a guy, but he also runs around and gets sacked. So maybe versus Michigan's defense, we could slow this offense down. But they have Jonah Coleman at running back, 96 carries for 518 yards, 5.4 average, 11 rushing touchdowns. He also catches the ball, 20 catches for 243 yards, a 12.1 average, and a receiving touchdown. Backing him up at running back, Adam Muhammad. 35 carries, 173 yards, 4.9 average, and 2 touchdowns. Their tight end has 15 catches, Decker DeGraff, for 151 yards, and that's a 10.1 average. And then they got 4 pretty good wide receivers here. Denzel Boston, 30 catches for 444 yards and 6 touchdowns. Desmond Roebuck, 18 catches for 331 yards. That's an 18.4 average per reception and 2 touchdowns. Wide receiver Raiden Vines Bright has 11 catches for 146 yards. And Omari Evans has 5 catches for 128 yards. That's a 25.6 average and a touchdown. So, like I said before, I have to think that they're going to score some points like USC did. Unless we can get home. If Wink Martindale, Dr. Blitz 2.0 cannot get home with all that pressure, then they're going to destroy us. Now, Michigan's offense versus Washington's defense. Michigan is getting 30 points per game. 1 point more than, what was they at? 9 points less than Washington. 202 passing yards per game is all, but that's really good for a Michigan team lately. And 216 rushing yards per game. So balance. But Washington's defense is only allowing 20 points per game. They are giving up 236 passing yards per game, but so was USC. And we never capitalized on that. But Washington has a way better run defense than USC did, with 83 rushing yards per game allowed. So Bryce Underwood, passing 60% for 1,200 yards and 2 touchdowns, is not going to get it done. He has 32 rushes for 177 yards. That's a 5.5 average and 3 rushing touchdowns. But he himself has been sacked 7 times. Justice Haynes is expected to play in this game after he went out early in the third quarter versus USC. He's grabbing his ribs. It was precautionary. He never came back in. But this guy is a home run threat. 95 carries for 705 yards so far. And like I said, he missed 2.5 quarters of the USC game. He's got a 7.4 rushing average. And he has 8 rushing touchdowns. Jordan Marshall is another Mr. Ohio. Great backup. 59 carries, 301 yards, 5.1 average, and 3 touchdowns. Marlon Klein is a beast that he can catch the ball. He can run, especially if he catches it in stride. Watch out. And then Hogan Hansen was supposed to return last week at tight end for Michigan. I didn't see him. Hopefully he is back in this game because he can catch the ball as well. Another big body over the middle. Donovan McCulley is a blessing for Michigan this season. 22 catches, 348 yards, 15.8 average, and 2 touchdowns. And Andrew Marsh, the freshman, is another blessing. That's your 1-2 punch at wide receiver now. 13 catches, 248 yards. He got his first start in the game before USC versus Wisconsin. He's doing good. 19.1 average per catch and 1 touchdown. Then you got Samaj Morgan and Channing Goodwin still. And then that's going up against Washington's defense. And as I stated, they're only allowing 20 points per game. Not a lot of real heavy statistics here, but they got a good interior on their defensive line. They have pass rushers. Jacob Lane, 23 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Isaiah Ward, 12 tackles, 1.5 sacks. And Zach Durfee, 8 tackles and 1 sack. 3 good linebackers. Devin Bryant, 39 tackles. Ziri Alexander, 19 tackles. And Tariq El Ukta has 15 tackles and 1/2 a sack. The secondary really no stats either except for 4 players. Ephesian Prysock. They have some weird names on this team, but no offense. But it's hard to kind of pronounce. But 17 tackles, 5 pass breakups, and an interception at corner. And then safety Alex McLaughlin has 42 tackles. Never good when your safety has the most tackles. That means they're getting by your first and second lines. Of course, you got DeMond who's passing it all over the place, so maybe it is a good thing. He's getting the tackles, stopping home runs. 2 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and he had an interception for a touchdown. And then you got safety Mikel Esteen, 29 tackles, 1/2 a sack, and he has 2 interceptions as well. So this defense is no pushover at all. Their offense is getting 39 points a game. They're electric. It's in Ann Arbor. They got now their body clock and everything and the travel, and they got to play early on the East Coast, just like Michigan had to play late on the West Coast in the past game. But Washington, it's a different matchup. They're 2 different games. So how will this one go for Michigan? The line is crazy. They have Michigan -7, which means they think Vegas thinks Michigan's going to win this game by 7 points. That's way too much. If they win at all, I think the team will rally. I think they hear what's rumbling around Sherrone Moore. I think Michigan wins this game at home versus a very good 5-1 Washington team. That might be why the AP pollsters don't even have them ranked yet. It's because they figured that they were going to lose to Michigan. The same way Nebraska wasn't ranked yet just before Michigan played them. Michigan wins this game, but it's going to take a miracle. It's going to take a defensive score. Michigan won the turnover battle versus USC barely. I don't know. How many points can Michigan's offense score if they're really rolling and Sherrone Moore gets out of the way and lets Chip Lindsey do what he does? 27? Something like that. A couple field goals, 3 touchdowns, one of them being a defensive score. And then the defense, how do they stop this Washington offense. How many points will they allow them? It's got to be under 27 for Michigan to win. And I think it'll be probably like 24, right? A 3-point game. Real close. Not a 7-point game. I'm taking Washington in the points. But I'm taking Michigan in this game to win. So there you go. My preview, my rant about Sherrone, all that. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for you. Let me know in the comments below if you want to keep Sherrone Moore, if you want him fired, if Michigan is going to win this game or going to lose this game. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Try to have a great day out there, and remember, there's still Michigan basketball coming up, and Michigan hockey is looking damn good. Thank you, everybody.